Hey everybody, ChristopherOdd here. Hope you're doing well. If you'll recall, almost exactly a year ago, I played INKULINATI. It entered into early access, and we were like, whoa, this is unlike any type of turn-based strategy game I've ever played before. It's very unique, it's very deep, and now we are here to check out the 1.0 release. Thank you so much to Daedalic for sponsoring this video. Really love Daedalic, by the way. Like, they put out consistently amazing games, and happy to work with these guys anytime. But I'm gonna just explain the game as we go. We're gonna start a new journey. I will say, if you're playing for the first time, I highly recommend that you go into the academy and you do all of the little challenges. It'll teach you everything you need to know. It's very, very good from a tutorial perspective. We're gonna jump in and we're gonna start the greatest adventure ever. Let's begin. How would I rate my skill with living ink? I'm gonna say not bad. I'm gonna say not bad, because that's honest. I'm not bad with the inks, you know? Now, we can do a couple things. We can change up our character if we want. We can enter names if we want, and we will. Let's go ahead and do that. I kind of like this guy. Now, we've got some options here. We can play as a couple of different factions. We have Secular Cunning, we have Barks of War, and we have Prayers and Headaches. This is the one I'm most familiar with, so I will go ahead and stick with these. Now, you can come in here and like swap out certain characters, which is pretty cool. And I think I will actually swap in the Bishop Cat for reasons that I'll explain shortly. All these little overlays, by the way, tell you everything you need to know about all of the characters. Let's see what options we have in here. So we have a heal, or we have a mass blessing. Triple target, affects 3 targets standing next to each other, increases the level of Halo by 2. You probably don't know what that means, but Halo buffs your characters, gives them better accuracy, better damage. These 2 actions let you move things on the battlefield, which will make sense in a second. And we have some possible talents that we can choose. So this one means that enemy beasts can't push my tiny. That's like our main character. That's our tiny. If they die, we die. That's the only one we have access to right now. You can see, as we continue, we'll earn prestige, which unlocks better things. So let's begin, shall we? So let's see. We've got these. This is good. These are the beasts that we're gonna choose. Yeah, I think this is fine. Let's see how the run goes, shall we? So, today you'll pass your final exam, become an INKULINATI master, and set off on your INKULINATI journey. You still have to face a wild beast encounter before you can take your exam, though. Wild beast encounter. Once you're in a location, you cannot leave it, so choose wisely. These are marked with sword and quill icons. Yep, sweet. Let's throw down, shall we? I think we shall. Now, we can change our army and stuff, all of this. We've got apocalypse types that are here, and I'll explain that when it happens. This is giving us a little brief overview of the enemy summons that can come in. And then this is telling us what can happen every 1 to 2 chapters and every 2 to 3 chapters. These are little events that happen on the battlefield. You're going to already notice that this is a really unique looking game. Everything's hand-drawn. It's super slick. This is probably going to give us some tutorials, but I'm going to skip some of this because I'll explain it. Now, we are surrounded. We have a guy over here, and we have a guy over here. We are in the middle, okay? So we can spend our ink that's in the top left to summon new creatures if we want. And when we do that, that ink will drop, and we can start to deal with these guys. We have a couple different units. The sword-wielding rabbit is for close range. The spear-wielding rabbit can hit the 2 fields away from it. The bow-wielding rabbit is for up to 6 fields away, and the bishop cat's cool because if it gets hit by an enemy, the enemy becomes a heretic, and then the bishop cat, because it's anointed, that's like a status that it has, does more damage to that enemy that is a heretic, so it's pretty cool. What we could do here is we could summon in some units, and then we could consider blessing them all. That's an option. Another really neat thing about this game is the way that movement works. So I can push things around with my tiny INKULINATI here. I can push myself, and it would move me 1 space typically, but because these spaces are occupied, it actually will move me to the first adjacent space, or the first empty space. Now, you can also push things off the edge of the map, which is pretty powerful as well. I'm gonna actually move us to the left here onto this larger ink blot. The size of these ink blots dictate how much ink you can suck up from that space. So this one's going to give us 3 ink every turn, essentially, and that'll happen 3 times because it's a larger ink blot. The medium ones will give twice, and the smaller ones will give that 3 one time. Okay, let's summon in some units. I don't mind having a little archer in here that can just start blasting from range. These things, these barrels, enemies can come in and hit these. This guy has the range, so he'll probably come to here and spike through this and hit both of us, but we can deal with him. We can deal with him. And actually, if I want to stop that, one thing we could consider is placing a unit out here. You can only summon your units in a certain distance away from your tiny, so something to keep in mind that you can't just like place them wherever. There's actually a process to it. If I do this, I could hit these 3, and I will. This is probably not going to be optimal here, but just to kind of show you this halo effect, you can hit Q, and you can hover over any unit, and it will give you all the things you need to know about these units. I actually think what I'm going to do is turn down the text size just a bit, so we can maybe fit everything on the screen. Okay, there we go, sweet. So this guy here, now that he's got the halo, you can read what that does, but essentially, each level of halo increases the damage and accuracy by 1. Damage, easy to understand. Accuracy comes into play when you actually get an attack off. Now, when you do summon these guys in, you'll notice that they're all sleeping. There's basically a summoning sickness, and so you have to wait till the next turn for them to activate. I'm going to end my turn here, and then this guy's going to go because this guy over here is napping. So let's begin. He's probably just going to destroy that, so he gets access to us. Pretty smart. Pretty smart. He is a dog. Very advanced creature. Pretty smart little animals, if you ask me. Okay, so this indicates your walk range. You can go within these green areas if you want, and then if you go to a yellow one, that's like a sprint, and it'll end your turn. After you attack, that ends your turn as well. Now, what's cool about this game, and something you really need to consider from a strategy perspective, is the order of operations. Because once you start moving with the character, you're committed. You have to finish their whole turn, okay? So, for example, I am going to take Sir Dukes in here, and we're going to move over here, and we're just going to launch this guy off the edge. All these characters have a push ability, and we're just going to get rid of them this way. We do extra damage from behind, so if they're not facing us, we could have got an extra 2 damage there, which is kind of cool. But I think we're gonna be able to pretty much cruise through here. Vladimir, let's move you next, and we're just gonna move to the other side. And then this way, if we're hovering, we can see we're gonna do 6 to 8 here, but we're actually gonna do 8 to 10 because we're backstabbing, right? When I click this, we're gonna get a meter that's running up and down these numbers, and then we have to select the number that we want it to stop on. When we have better accuracy, it's easier to hit the numbers that you want. But there is a little bit of skill involved there because sometimes they'll be going super quick. Okay, so we can just finish this off, no problem. We just need to hit any of the skull icons and he is toast. Nice little warm-up battle for us, not too bad. Got to explain some of the mechanics, but there's still a lot more. And so stay tuned because I'll explain them as they come up. Okay, boredom status. So boredom status is something that affects your units. The more that you summon them in, the less effective they are. So it really encourages you to experiment and use a variety of your different units, okay? We got 5 prestige there, we got gold. That's sweet. That's fantastic. Let's see what he has to say here. Your health regenerates a little after every battle, and by how many points you ask, like I said at the beginning, that depends on your difficulty. Well, what happens if I lose all my health? Well, the battle's lost. When you lose a battle, you'll be restored to full health and lose 1 quill. If you lose a battle and don't have any quills left, your journey is over. Sweet. So this is going to talk about boredom, the more ink it costs to draw the beasts. So that's the negative part about using them a lot. So we got it. Yep. Cool. To decrease boredom, draw different beasts in your next battle, fight a beast versus beast battle, or visit the chapel. Got it? Yes. Sweet. So this first little, I guess, campaign, we're not going to have a lot of choices, as you can see. until maybe about here. But let's go. We're going to do a beast battle here. No tinies. And I'm kind of excited to do a tiny battle, but that'll probably be the final battle of this first area, which is sweet. Okay, let's begin. We're dealing with mighty dogs, donkey bards, bow-wielding dogs, spear-wielding dogs, and sword-wielding dogs. Fine. Now, one thing I haven't shown you yet is our mighty farts. Yeah, I said it. I said it. All right, this is your first battle without a tiny, isn't it? So make sure you bring the best, strongest beasts. In fact, all your beasts will have their boredom levels decreased after this battle. Isn't that great? Yes, because that happens during beast versus beast. It's important to collect living ink, even when your army doesn't have a tiny. When an army without a tiny collects 12 or more drops of living ink, all the beasts will be healed 5 health, and they'll be granted 3 levels of Halo at the end of the chapter. Chapters are rounds. The goal is to get rid of all your opponent's beasts. Sweet. So we don't have a tiny either, which is definitely a different play style, because the tinies allow you to do a lot of really powerful things like move units around and shuffle things up a little bit. This barrier here, this acts as a blocker. So if we are to look at this, it should say in here, elements with cover affect block actions going through them in a horizontal line on the same battlefield. So for example, you cannot shoot through this. So we should be pretty safe from this guy, but I also need to approach there, so we'll see. Now we also have multiple levels to work with here, which is a little bit different. And when we hover on these enemies, we can see their movement range. So I might be more inclined to not really get too aggressive here. I might be more inclined to just move up little Piast, and I'll actually move him just onto the ink blot here, so that we can start rapidly collecting ink. If we hit that 12, as we said, we all get like a halo buff and everybody heals a little bit. So cool. Let's make them act, make them come towards us. Yeah, that's smart, because he can hit through that, but he can't go through that. That's fine. I could rush him. The problem is these guys can come in and poke up from below too. So I don't know if I necessarily want to throw Vlad in there just yet. But from here, I could start attacking this guy, and that's not bad. We also, here comes the butt. This is your, it's like a stun, essentially. So they take a nap, they get a headache, and they lose accuracy, but they have to be facing you. So I can hit this guy on this line, but he's already sleeping, so it's a little bit of a waste there. So we're just going to attack. We can blow up obstacles and stuff too, but that one's of no consequence, really. You'll also notice that some of these things have a little ink blot by them. If you hit that slot, and it's usually not the highest damage, if you hit that, then you'll get extra ink, which is nice. Okay. So, I guess, look, Vlad does have a lot of health, so I'm not gonna... I'm okay sending him in there. He's also got a couple of other nice things. He can heal friendly units, and he can use Holy Paws to give double Halo to a friendly beast, and then of course the push and taking a nap. If I run in here, this guy will have to move in order to take shots at Vlad, but this guy will probably come up from underneath and smack him, but he'll likely become a heretic then, and then I get extra damage against him with Vlad, so let's go. Let's see what happens. Yeah, he's going for the backstab, which is the right play. But now he's got the heresy, right? So I deal extra damage with Vlad against him, which is sweet. So what do we want to do next here? I think we can come up underneath. Now this altar, this is a cool little system too. So every time you pass this altar, you gain a level of Halo. Now you can't just kind of stack Halo forever. Every time your character takes a nap or the round ends, then you lose a level of Halo. And you can, if I wanted to, from here, I could have gone here and then back and forth and use up all of our movement points to gain levels of Halo there. But I do want to attack, so we're going to focus on this. So I can get up to 5 damage on this guy, and I'll happily take it. Very nice. You see, as we nap at the end of the round, we lose that accuracy, we lose that damage. Now, the rabbits, they do have an innate ability where at the end of a round, after you use an action, they gain a a halo. If I can see, what's it called here? It's called Pious in the bottom left. The beast prays at the end of their turn. Praying gives them a halo and makes them temporarily unpushable as well. So that's very, very powerful. Now, Vlad, he's going to get a bunch of extra damage against this guy. So if I just look to attack here, like this is a kill. He's a goner. Let's just do it. See ya. Now, this guy down here, I'm a little curious about his tactic. Okay, here he comes. He's probably going to kill this guy. That's okay. That's all fine and that's fantastic. It's great, except it isn't. Now, one of the things that could be a problem is if I come here, I won't be able to shoot through this to hit this guy. So that's a bit annoying. However, just from here, I suppose I can just take a shot down below. Oh, well, I'll get ink there, but I did whiff that. Okay. Ideally, too, we should be trying to end our turns on these ink blots as much as possible. But it's not always that easy. So this guy, even if he comes up to here, which he can, you can see when you hover on him, he can move up to here technically, but there's something blocking it. But if he comes here, he can attack through and hit my guy. But then I would be able to come through there, gain hope from the altar, and backstab him. So I will do this. Plus we're on an ink there. Again, I could do the here comes the butt blast, but he's already sleeping. So I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to destroy this. So I'll just sleep there. And I think we're in a pretty good position here. This guy could also come up and backstab Vlad if he wanted to. Okay, the ink shower is happening. We've got new ink blots. Okay, so he's got heresy. Switching beasts. Yep, that's fine. I could come in here and finish him off like that, but I feel like what I need to do is I need to get Vlad down here to deal with Izaslav. He's got 7. I do 1 to 5, but with the backstab, I would have enough. So I'm going to come down here. And let's do this. Nice. That actually goes a lot quicker than... I don't know. It feels quicker than it looks, maybe. At least when you're the one in control. Okay, and now I can backstab here. I do 6 to 8, and he's getting backstabbed, so pretty solid. Good fight for us. We'll take it. We didn't cap out at the 12. Also, notice just the art details, okay? Like, this is real art in the background, which you may not have noticed, but it's very neat. The hand that comes in is like a real hand. And the idea is that, like, we are as the player, we are drawing this. We are playing the character that's drawing all these things. In some of the battles, which you'll see, I think when it's like tiny versus tiny, then they start writing paragraphs into the pages, summarizing the battle as it's happening. It's super slick. So we'll show you that shortly too. All right. So Prestige allows you to choose dialogue options unavailable to puny peasants. Being famous does have its advantages. Yes, thank you, Master. Love you, Master. You'll now visit a non-combat location. You won't face a battle, but the decision will affect your resources. Sweet. So we can go to the scriptorium and permanently increase your starting living ink. I don't know if that's as necessary. Permanently increase your starting health. I like that. So what options do we have? If I had more prestige, like significantly more, then we could do a couple of other things here. I would never lower myself to these vile libations. I try to impress the public. So this would heal us. This would give us a bunch of prestige. But I think I'll take the +2 max health here. You never know. It could become important. You've reached the end of the tiny map. At the end of each map, an Inkulinati master awaits. Defeating them in battle will allow you to continue your journey, but first you have to defeat me. All right, what should I focus on in these battles? You need a large diversity of beasts. Always bring the maximum of 5 beasts with you. You'll be getting some new beasts soon, so plan your strategy accordingly. All right. Well, the store. Show me what you got. Let's buy another beast. You know what? I'm going to buy this guy. He's very expensive, but he's very powerful and very cool. So I'll see if I can pull this off. But also, you could buy some extra hand actions, and like some of these would be awesome, specifically the heal. But if I can get that snail out there, the snail is sick. All right, Master. Let's go. It's game on. Now, to win versus the Inkulinati, you just have to defeat them. You don't have to kill everything. But he's not gonna go down without a fight, right? So, what we'd probably want to do is, try to get in range of that. It's gonna be kind of tough, eh? I might just have to spend some time summoning. And I can technically summon in my snail. The reason the snail is so nice, it has an attack called Maw that devours an object, okay? And what's cool about that is it's an instant kill regardless of health. So I could summon it in now. It's a very aggressive maneuver, but I will. I'll summon it in here. I don't want to place them next to edges and stuff right at this moment because if this guy moves and then shoves something off, that could be slightly problematic. Yeah, I mean, okay. We're already on an ink blot here. I'm not going to do anything. All right, let's see what this little guy does. You see his hand? Oh, that's cool. Look at that. That's sick, man. It's like actually how the character looks. Okay, this guy. So he's really low accuracy. 3 to 6 damage, which means he'll probably have trouble hitting that top end of the damage range. He's got Hold Your Farts. He detonates himself, causes a big explosion. Attacks both adjacent fields at once. So he can come in between people and hit either side. The tiny Inkulani who drew it receives 5 drops of living ink. Interesting. Okay. Now, Butterhead. I can come under here and smack him. The problem with this, though, which you're probably noticing as well, is that if I come here, he probably just comes down here and he can just push me off, right? However, we do have Pious, so we pray at the end of our turn, which makes us unpushable. That's our whole deal. So I've overthought that a little bit, and we can just get some damage in there. Let's go ahead and whack him. I could have applied the halo from here, but it's got a cooldown, and it's better to hit like a few units, so I wouldn't mind summoning in a few, and then when units get closer, I could kind of spam that and hit a bunch of them. Okay, I'm fine with that. Master's Army. I can force my beast to explode. I do so love the smell of explosions in the morning. I even get 5 extra drops of living ink for it. Not only can they explode on command, but they also explode when someone kills them. Did I mention they explode, though? Huh. If I devour them, how's that gonna work? We're about to find out. Now, I know that if I devour, sometimes there'll be like little fire pits that are out here. We can devour that, and then my snail will shoot fire out a couple spaces ahead. But let's find out what happens here. Yeah, same idea. Sick. Okay, cool. That's very neat. He's going, okay. Real aggressive. But he couldn't quite do anything when he got there. Let's move here. We have a backstab. Should be a kill. Okay, sweet. Oh, yeah, less sweet. We literally just got told that he was going to explode. You can see where the challenge is here. Okay, now I want to start summoning some stuff up top. Do we know what his moves are? Yeah, he's got left and right as well. Probably doesn't have the range to get there, though. Or does he? Well, let's find out. Summon this in. And then... putting Holy on these guys doesn't really do a whole lot. And this takes us up to level 2 of Halo. So +2 damage. Maybe I'll hit here. I feel like he's going to use his damage a little sooner than the other guy. And he's probably going to run in there again on his next turn. I could back up a tad. We could be sitting on this too, but again, just to kind of keep our range. Everybody's sleeping. Now, the way that the turns alternate, this is that little sick summary up here, by the way. If you read this, this is literally telling you the character's name and like what they're doing, how they're doing it. It's pretty cool. Okay. So I could backstab this guy and I could kill him, but then I'm gonna die. But I mean, we're clearing the field. You know what I mean? We are clearing the field, and that's part of the goal. So it's important. Let's do this. I'm gonna race up here with McKing. This guy's gonna... Interesting approach. Okay. Okay. Now, what I might do is... I could go here. I don't mind applying this pressure and seeing how he reacts to this. And then we'll use Butterhead to clear out Clumsy and sacrifice ourselves for the greater good. I'm fine with it. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Now, I don't really have a good way to get up top with him. So let's just summon in some stuff. This guy can reach where? Well, he might come in here. He might come right there. And I don't really have a way to stop that. Tell you what, let's summon in a ranged unit down here. It's going to be on an ink blot, which is nice. You can see we're both very low on ink right now. And then, what should I do? Oh, here, you know what? Let's move this in front of us. Just to provide a little bit of a blocker. And then he could get down to here. And I'm fine with that. Okay, sweet. Let's see what he wants to do. We're in pretty good control here. He is coming up top, as we expected. That's actually a great push. However, I am here with the Maw, and I will devour the Master. See ya! Now, the other option is, if I didn't have this unit, and this was any other unit, I could have pushed the Master, and we would have been able to push him over the edge, because this is occupied and this is occupied. So, the spatial awareness and positioning you need to have when you're playing this is really high. But the barrier to entry is pretty low because of the way it layers on the different skills that you need to learn and the different mechanics. It's very approachable, super approachable. Okay, let's do another run. That was actually pretty quick. So let's see if we can keep going. We got 20 prestige, 80 gold, beast, hand actions, talents. Select a new beast. The mighty hare, pretty expensive, bow-wielding fox. So we start like mixing our army a little bit. Maybe I'll pick the mighty hare just so that we stay within the rabbits area. We could draw a barrel, that's not bad. We can motivate. Allied beasts can be targeted, but not tiny. The target becomes motivated, and they can perform an action after moving in their sprint range. Pretty cool, actually. And then awakening. Wakes the beast from its nap, giving it an additional turn in this chapter. Oh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I imagine you could also summon, and they're napping, and then hit the bell, hit the awakening, and use that. Use that enemy, or use that character right away. Minimal chaos effect. Dealing the minimal amount of damage during a dexterity attack will trigger a random event. Could be fun. If Tiny has less than 50% health, they gain 6 drops of ink every chapter. I don't really want to be in that position, but yeah. Friendly beasts regain 2 health at the beginning of each chapter. That's pretty solid. Tiny health drops below 50%. A random ally beast gains armor at the beginning of each chapter. That's good too. Cheaper than cheap. Beasts with a base cost of 7 or less are 1 drop of living ink cheaper. Okay, I'm going to take Daily Supper. All right. Now, the battle begins. So we're going to face off against this teal group at the end here. Party. It's in full swing. Look, there's Death. And then Death reaches for the snacks. Come with me. I know how to fix this. I'd love to, and I will. I love Death. Cut to the chase. Your master's dead. Trust me, I'm kind of an expert on these things. We could bring him back to life, but in order to do so, you have to defeat me in a duel. I'll fight you. You must set out on a master journey, defeat at least 3 Inkulinati masters. Only then will you be skilled enough to face me. I'll be waiting for you on my farm. But that's fine. Okay, Elite Tiny versus Wild Beast. Fine by me. Fine by me. Now, we've got the Mighty Hare. Do we want to change anything here? He's 15, so is the Slug. Now, the Mighty Hare, he's very strong, okay? He's got his mace that gives the target headaches, and headaches last until the end of the beast's turn. They can either move or take an action, but not both if they have a headache. He has the farts stun, and of course he's got prayer as well to give a level of halo, which is nice. I'm gonna keep the snail. I think the snail is amazing. Okay, Apocalypse in Chapter 5. Now, we haven't reached this yet, but if the battle goes on for too long, the apocalypse begins. And from the edges of the map, you start having these spaces caught on fire. And if your unit remains in that space at the end of the chapter, they die. So it's a way to, like, apply increasing amounts of pressure as the battle goes on. Okay. Backstab. Yep. We know. Well aware. Right, so what do they have? They've got swords, they've got polearms, and they've got the bow-wielding rabbits. Cool. I have a resting rabbit up here. These guys are probably going to come underneath and hit him. At least one of them will. Now, I could wake him right off the bat here, which isn't too shabby. My movement is 2 or 4. If I summoned him here, he could go 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe? I don't know if this counts as a movement spot, but we're gonna find out. Look at the blue fingers, that's so cool. Okay, is there anything else we want to do here? I guess I will move myself over. Okay, and then I'll give a little blessing here. And then, let's see. These guys can pretty much reach anywhere. But they won't be able to hit Sir Andrew. So that's nice. Yeah, okay. So, I can move 2. Yeah. Yeah, right. I should have known that. 2 is your base movement, 4 is the sprint. So, these guys are going to come in here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to end up moving at all in this situation. And I don't want to move to this ink blot because I won't be able to reach them after the fact. So, unfortunately, we wasted that awaken, but all good. It does work on brand new summoned units too, so it's a decent strategy if we actually use it well. Okay. He's going to strike upwards, as expected. Now, these guys gain that unpushable as well, because they're rabbits. That's something we need to keep in mind, for sure. If I move here, now the problem is if I move here, this guy can come up and hit me. But if I stay here, he won't be able to because this spot's occupied. So I do feel like I should just take my shot. from here. Now, also, if I am going to move, I'm not going to be able to move to here, but I could probably push him and then do that. But then again, if I devour this guy, it leaves a slot for Eddie to come in and smack us upwards. And Eddie can do 4 to 6, so he could just kill Radislav that way. So we've kind of got an interesting little scenario here to try and figure this out. That would move me here, and then I could move 1, 2, maybe. That might work, because then I could devour him. Let's see. We're not going to do anything else with you. I guess, yeah, I realized they could have moved Eddie there, so I should have anticipated that they were going to be going next. And yeah, unfortunately, this doesn't count as my extra movement. Only when I'm, like, pushing and stuff. So, fair play. Fair play. I will just devour this guy. Oh, yeah, right. That's right. Devour moves into that position, so he actually can't come from underneath and hit this guy. But he's actually rushing for my my tiny there, which is actually fine by me. Well played by me. Totally intentional, too. Totally intentional. I knew that. Yeah, I definitely remembered that. The level of polish in here has come a long way since early access, I will say. That's a pretty sick backstab, actually. I'm not gonna lie. You did great. This thing is blocking, so they've outsmarted me a little bit there. However, what I could do is... This is a total waste, but I will do it. We'll summon in Mr. Nutmeg. I love that it just gives him all these random names, too. And we'll awaken him, and then Nutmeg can devour Eddie. Is there anything else I want to do? Yeah, I'll throw another blessing top up there. And I could move us to the other side for a little bit of extra safety, but this guy... No, I think we're actually fine here. Okay, yeah, fine. So because he's underneath this, it doesn't count as a block. We'll devour there, and then Sir Andrew can devour here. Now, we did take a little bit of damage on our tiny. It's not the end of the world, though. Okay, boredom stats. So yeah, we've really made the cost of our slug go up quite a bit. Beast-wise, yeah, sure, we'll unlock the... Yeah, okay, we'll take the spear-wielding dog. So, pray to reduce boredom or regain health. I mean, both are good. This is gold. Let's go here. Deliver me from my boredom. It's not bad. I should probably heal, but I'm feeling confident. Let's deliver from boredom. And we'll take a beast battle here. Okay, so our tiny's not involved. I don't necessarily want to have two very expensive beasts in here. So, I think we could do something like that. Or we could bring in our new guy. If we swap out the rabbit for the dogs. It's an option. He does have to use prayer, though, unfortunately. So, like, just for that reason alone, I feel like having the pious ability is a little bit nicer. So we'll stick with that. Okay, Apocalypse in 5. They've got some interesting units here. The Bonacon, Bishop-like creature. Huh. Deals additional damage to heretics, and he's anointed. So that's something we have to keep in mind. We do not want to become heretics. That could be dangerous. Now here, we've got actually a large explosion available. Yeah, big explosion, and this is hits within 5 fields. So one, basically it's the middle one, 2 on either side. If it's a small explosion, it's the middle one and 1 on either side. So this could be cool. Pitchfork wielding. I think I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, like, we should just pull back a tad. Trying to see where these guys can reach. This guy does a slingshot. He hits up to 3 targets pretty far away. So if we're grouped up, we will pay for it. We're not going to blow this up just yet. We'll see if they end up grouping on that a bit. Let's see how they react. He's going to hit a bunch of this here. Oh, okay, we're at the outer range of his attack. Fine by me. Now, this guy can make it all the way to here. And so, for that reason, I'm not really keen to do anything with them. We do have the stun fart if we want. But I actually want these guys to move. So... yeah. Let me just see. So if I have people up top here, these guys could come underneath and attack above, which is certainly a possibility. If I just dash here, then I could probably get hit with the polearm guy if he comes down to here. Gus could definitely hit. Clumsy could not. And Stumper is resting, so... I mean, yeah. How about this? How about we fart blast Gus? That just happened, by the way. Yeah, that's a thing. I wasn't joking. It is an actual fart. Okay, sweet. So now I'll bring Stevie down here. I love the names, dude. So good. He is going to get spiked as we predicted. Yep. And then, can I get some spiking? Not exactly. Not exactly. I'll just come back here to gain some ink. And then I think I'm going to chill. We can actually heal Stevie from here. We'll do that. Okay. Let's see how they want to handle this now. I feel like Stumper's probably going to hit a group or something. Okay, he's going for Ed. Fine by me. Fine by me. Stevie, it's time to eat, buddy. It's time to eat. Now, this guy is blinded and has reduced accuracy, which will affect its aim. He has a headache, so he can either move or take an action, but not both. He'll definitely take an action because Stevie's going to come in here and eat Sir Toot. Yeah, I mean, pretty solid. Pretty solid. How do I want to handle this now? I mean, maybe it's best for me to just blow this up at this point. Oh! I'm embarrassed. I mean, not at all, actually. I totally meant for that to happen exactly how it did. Absolutely. You know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to come over here. We're going to push our guy to the back line here. And we're just going to see how the enemy reacts to something like that, because I don't think they're going to love it, if I'm being honest. You can come down here. And you know what? I'll actually bring you up in front. And then what I'll do here Let's move up. I can't do any attacks there, but we could give a halo. And if these guys don't run away, then I get some pretty strong attacks, but we'll see if he survives. Very nice. So I think that we were sitting at 12 there. Is that what happened? I think so. Yeah, see, that's a really nice play. But now he's got Heresy, so he takes extra damage from T-Bird if we could get him in there. However, we're going to go here. This is pretty solid. Now, it doesn't kill, which means, yeah, like, that is good. But I should try to kill one. Because then they don't get to do anything. Let's give it up for Stevie. Carrying the team right now. Yeah, and then he's got that cleave attack, of course, that I absolutely remembered. Now, I am kind of, like, blocked in here. There's nothing I can really do. But we can bring... Well, can T-Bert get there? No. Let's come underneath. And... Oh, I can't attack upwards with him, hey? Is that right? Fine, I didn't want to do it anyways. And then Ed the Young will blow this thing up now. I'll try to hit the one with the ink on it. There we go. Okay, so he's down to 3. And then, if I come in here, I've got the range. So you notice the speed at which they go through those is different based on each of the individual unit stats. I think we're gonna win this fight here, guys. The AI does a great job with the AoE attacks, I find. I'm gonna knock him off and just kill him. Just for a little flavor, you know? A little bit of extra flav. We had a good variety of units there too, so boredom-wise, I think not too shabby. Okay. Death, new hand action, count me in. One type, Tiny versus Beast, you already know. Now another variant, Tiny versus Beast Lair. Oh yeah, these are cool. These are cool. If you can collect a maximum of 12 beasts and 9 hand actions in total, if you reach the limit, you can always exchange old beasts and hand actions for new ones. All right, got it. Got it. So, Beast Lair. What's going to happen is they're going to just keep summoning beasts out of the lair. Constantly. I'm going to bring my boy back in here. Wish I could just permanently name him Stevie. I want them all to be Stevies. But it's fine. I'll take random names. So this little tent here, this is their lair. Doesn't seem that intimidating. However, beasts just keep coming out every chapter. So we have to kill all the beasts and the lair itself. Let's see. How am I going to begin? That's a great question. Auto. I'll tell you what. Let's summon in Bishop Cat up top. So if they attack him, they'll become heretics, right? And then I may also just summon a little backup for him. Yeah, I could do that. Or, because I have 10, I could summon in 2 of these guys. But I don't know. I like having some range, and it's nice that I can just get some early plunking in. Now, the other nice thing we can do here is we can hit him with the Mass Blessing. And what's this guy's range? So at max, he can move here. This thing will summon a unit, of course. But I'm considering moving in with Felis if I use Awakening. Could work. And actually, if I want to move him even closer, I could push him like this. And then let's awaken him. Okay, sweet. You're not going to do anything else, I don't think. All right, well, I don't hate it. Otto can deal 5 to 7. Do you think he would take damage to blow me up? Probably. Probably, yeah. I could push this to put it right next to that, which is kind of interesting, because this is a big explosion. I could do that. I don't know if that's what I want. I think I'm just going to get damage on him. See if I can get that 7. Beautiful. All right. Pretty good start, I think. Little John. Oh, we're just randomly getting these blockers in. Not anymore. Types of beast layers. Okay. During your journey, you'll come across a variety of beast layers. In the glade, you'll find beehives and rabbit holes. You'll see suspicious trees where pigeons and foxes nest. And in town, you'll find king's tents from which armies of dogs will emerge. Nice. All right. So, let's see. Let's come in here and let's crush this tent as best we can. Even if I have to take a bunch of damage. Oh, he didn't go for the backstab. Yeah, they really seem to like running right at my tiny, which makes a lot of sense, obviously. Obviously. Man, I don't know if I should just kill this guy or come up here and kill the tent. I think I'm going to come up here and kill the tent. Oh, I can't. This thing's blocking me because it's huge. Rip. Okay, fine. We'll take this. All good? All good. Now, Little John. Little John. What do I want to do with you? You know what? I'll summon in some protection here, right in front of me. So we can't just walk past it. Mammon, you're going to tank a little hit for me, if you don't mind. I'm not going to move anybody. So they're going to summon one more beast, but then that tent is a goner. Ink shower. Bring it. Still not going for the backstab. I think the thing he's thinking is, man, this guy's got so much health that it's, like, irrelevant. And didn't summon a beast there. Fine by me. If I come to this side, then that's a bit of a problem. So I'll come back here. Let's hit him for 5, hopefully. No doubt he's gonna die, though. Like, for sure. I can only get an attack above here, you can see, if you hover this. So I'd have to be right here. Although, what I could maybe do... Let me do something like this. Let's see. I'll move this over. You can only use these once per turn, right? Oh, the other option is we awaken a unit. Because now that I'm on this unit, I've started using it, I have to commit to using everything that I want to. So if I bless up here with the halo, and then I awaken up there, we can get another shot off. May have been better to pick Felis, but we don't have the movement. So you're good. This deals how much damage? Top right, 5. So it's not quite enough. And this is not quite enough either. Regardless, Little John dies next turn. And maybe Mammon can come over. Yeah, sweet. Perfect. That was crispy and clean. No slugs required. Okay, sweet. Boredom stats. Yeah, couple on that guy. Makes sense. Hand actions here. All right. Drain ink from up to 3 ink blots that are next to each other. Okay. Draw a barrel or draw a cauldron. Let's do drain ink, I guess. And now we've got a store. Show me what you got. I've got 180. I don't think I need any more animals. SWAT's pretty good. SWAT's nice because I can just do damage to anything and just like flick it, literally. I could buy spare quills or I could reduce boredom. Let's just go SWAT. Okay, now permanently increase starting living ink or permanently increase your starting health. Let's do that. Okay. Let's have a showdown. Let me swap out for the slug. And I'm cool with the cat as well. Got drain ink. Yeah, what am I gonna pick here? Maybe we go with SWAT instead of drain ink. I feel like that's gonna be the better value. Something I can use a little bit more often. And it does damage, which is pretty nice. Okay. Let's see what you got, Godfrey. Gates are an unpushable element of the battlefield to protect against attacks coming from the same level. They can be destroyed. The color of the gate indicates which army it belongs to. Only beasts with the same color of the gate can walk through it. You can push your opponents against your gates. They'll bounce off at taking 6 damage. And if they're still alive, return to the field they came from. Oh, neat. Okay, so these both belong to me, and they don't have one. Too bad, so sad. For them. Okay. Well, do I want to apply pressure? Straight up? Let me move on to the larger ink blot, first of all. Then, I'll summon out here. And I'm gonna apply a little bit of pressure here. Just a tad. It's a very expensive spend early on, though. I don't know if that's super wise. But until they defeat my snail strategy, I won't be stopping. We'll put a little halo action up top there. It's nothing great, but... Okay, so he summoned in a Dobby. You got anything else there, bub? Theodoric? Yep, that's great. He's out of ink. So he summoned in 3 basic units. And, I mean, that's pretty good. So this guy, at maximum, could move to here on his next turn. Unless he gets pushed by Godfrey, which I guess is possible. He could push him, which would put him here, actually. And then he can move up really aggressively. You know what? I'll just go here. I'll get the ink. And, yeah, that'll help us spam some units in the next round. Because now we significantly out-ink Godfrey. Here he comes. And that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna gobble this guy. Now, Dobby could come down and strike, but Dobby hits for 3 to 5. Or he can attack from above, too. Nope, fine. He's going for the gate. Fantastic. Fantastic. If I come down here, then we can shoot around it. He's going to spend a lot of time trying to get through that gate. I feel like a little bit bad, I guess, that they're not getting any gates for themselves. But like, you know, I don't feel that bad. Don't get me wrong. Let's move over. It's really about it, hey? I guess I could summon this guy in here. Yep, that's fine. So now we've got 2 ranged attacks available. This guy could come over here and cleave, and he probably will, and that's going to deal a bunch of damage. Oh, it's our turn. Sweet. Never mind then. Little by little, Jan. Just keep on gobbling. Okay. We forced him to change his tactics there. We can kill him. And all of a sudden, the Tiny is left alone. Now, he's got 5 ink, so he can bring in another one of those guys if he wants. Or, okay, interesting. Yeah, went for the poke and summoned. All right, all right, all right. I mean, I respect it. Now we're going to start applying some pressure. And for us, I'll push through this door. I don't need to hide. Let's, we'll bless. We can bless these 2. He doesn't really benefit from the accuracy and damage anyways. And then what I'll do is awaken one. So awaken Robin. Robin can launch an attack. Yeah, we're not going to do anything else. See, like, in that situation, depending on your exact ink levels and stuff, you may want to take a lower amount of damage to get that extra ink. Just to give you a slight edge. But we're dominating, so I'm not too concerned. Alright, it's enough of yawn, I think. Goodbye. I mean, you did that pretty well. Let's come here, and then I can smack Pepin if I want. Oh, yeah. It's kind of irrelevant. Do I want to summon anything in? Yes. Let's just overwhelm him with ranged attacks here. I don't think he can stop me. He's only got 3 ink here. Yeah. So he had to pass. We'll take a 6. And hopefully another 6, and then we can get him down to 3 here. Here comes the fire. So this is what I was talking about before. And what this means is at the end of this turn or chapter, because we're in books, right? If that guy is on the fire tile, he dies immediately. Unfortunately for him, we can just kill him. And so that's what we're going to do. Goodbye, Godfrey. So strong he was. Roasted. Man, I love this. This is fun. This is a really good time. Now, you guys, if you've been around the channel for a long time, you may have seen me play this like a year ago in early access. But if you guys really like this, I'd be super down to do more of it. So let me know in the comments what you think. And let me know if you played it yourself, because I know this game gets way more complex, because even in the tutorial, the stuff that you learn towards the end of it is a lot more aggressive than some of the mechanics that we saw here today. And it gets pretty crazy. Beast-wise, hair with a basket, absolutely. Hand actions. Motivated. Take an action after sprint range, pretty cool. And talent-wise, grant 6 drops of living ink if a hand action kills a beast. Very specific. 2 levels of halo to a random friendly beast at the beginning of each chapter. That's actually very good. Minimal chaos effect. Dealing minimal amount of damage during a dexterity attack will trigger a random event. Tiny has less than 50% health. They gain 6 drops of ink every chapter. Hand actions used on friendly beasts increase their halo level by 1. That's also good, because when you move them around, they get halo levels from it. But let's take daily prayer. The exam was passed. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to wrap up the video here. If you made it this far, really appreciate it. And thanks again to Daedalic for sponsoring this video. I again, really enjoy working with that company, and their games are consistently awesome. One of my favorite publishers in the business. So big shout out to the INKULINATI team as well, because this has come a very long way, and it was already in a good position when it first launched. I can't believe it's been a year already, but congratulations to the team there. And yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking when you're watching. I appreciate it. Take care, and bye for now.